I'm waiting on the next meme from Iran. I want to see what they going to put out. Because I've been enjoying those little Lego memes. Yes, I have. And, you know, I don't care if they sit up and told you that we won this war. If that's what DJT want to believe, that's fine. If that was getting off the escalator or off the off ramp, that's in his mind. But the deal here is somebody could have stopped by his office and read this to him. He's surrounded by Bezos, Musk, Zuckerberg. You know they've used this book. But I got to give credit where credit is due, because David Sachs did make an attempt to talk to DJT. Now, I don't know how successful he was, but it must not went off too well. And I told you all I wasn't going to get up here without a book. Because, see, one thing about you all, don't read. Y'all don't read. If somebody had stopped, got this book, and it ain't no big book. Look, it ain't like if you got ADHD or something like that, you could have got on the Amazon uh, read a book or something, and you would have been done with this book, what, probably in an hour or so? And we spent all that money because what? We didn't have this book. This book got strategies stretching out from 2,500 years. And they're still using this book today. I had to go get a new book. This ain't the book that, this a new little book. That's what I'm saying. Spent all that money, what, on war, and then got the audacity to keep asking for money. And when I tell you all this from this book, then you're thinking, no, you don't get no more money, partner. You needed this book because you never had a plan. Now, let's start. In that book, The Art of the War, Sun Tzu, he had strategies. Yes, strategies. We didn't have no strategies. We didn't have a plan. Preparation. There was nothing prepared. We just took our little ass over there and started a war with Iran. They wasn't bothering nobody, but we started that war. They're gonna say, well, they had what? Not weapons of mass destruction, but they had uh, nuclear missiles. Have you found them yet? Because they were supposed to have been blowed up last year. They didn't have that. Adaptability. Is in there anybody in the administration right now that has adapted to anything? No, they're marching to the beat of DJT, whatever he tells them, and he's not an adaptable person because, you know what, he's living back there in the past. All right, and he's trying to take all of us back, and that ain't being adaptable. So that's another reason we did not win the war. Now, the best way to win is to avoid the battle where possible, using intelligence. And ain't nobody up in the White House. And by the way, the White House, maybe when DJT get out of there, we should name the house something else, because I see that as a problem too. But ain't nobody up in there intelligent. Who up in there intelligent now? So we didn't win that war because we didn't have a plan. There was no strategies. Nobody prepared. And we didn't do everything to avoid the war. We started the war. That's right. And his little uh, Pete Hegg says they and he ain't intelligent. Mad Max. So and in all wars there's deception and care planning. None of that happened here. Sun Tzu outlines understand the terrain. What are our soldiers over there doing right now? They surrounded by mountains, and it would be a, a smaller war when intelligent people could go in and beat the socks off of America. But you got all these idiots. Maybe you need 5,000 people. And out of 5,000 people, they may not even have a brain. And for us, the terrain, you got mountains, you got land, you got water. Ain't nobody went over there and checked nothing out. They just went, okay? They just went. And what? We got beat again. What? Like I said, when was what war have we won? Was it Afghanistan? Was it Nam? Was it Iraq? But we spent a lot of money. I think we spent about 2,000, $2 billion in Iraq. And that was lost too. I don't even want to think about the money that they spending over here, but let me carry on. And let's go to this one, managing the troops. The troops ain't being managed. The troops over there starving. They ain't feed them nothing. They sending poor little messages back home like, Mom, come get me. Somebody help me out. We over here suffering. Come on now. And they say, we won. That's in his mind only. People can be a star in the ghetto. That's what it is. But in their mind only. That's basically what has happened. So Sun Tzu said, we're going to exploit their weakness. Well, wasn't much to exploit because we know how this worked out. And maintain flexibility. There's no flexibility. And then we still in there. People was trying to the end and say, you know what? And I guess that's what Sachs went in there for. Because he was like, you need to come up on out of there. You causing problems all over the world. You ruining, everything. The whole global economy. Get up out of there, say you won, get off the escalator, elevator, the toilet stool, whatever, get off of it and bring your ass up out of there. Because you spoiling it for all the billionaires, and it's the billionaires' fault. If that's their shit, this is the billionaires' fault. And then he over there saying that he got money for a war that we don't need to be in, that could have been avoided. And that's what I'm saying. So where's that money going? Now the key is being smart and adaptable. That didn't happen. That did not happen. What? Did we achieve a victory with minimum conflict? Hell no. This was total chaos. Total chaos. And tomorrow, it'll be back that the strait is closed. The strait is open. We going in the back way. We going to set up a barricade. Conflict everywhere. The major thing that Sun Tzu said, and I may be pronouncing that wrong, Sun Tzu, he said, was not to fight at all. Let your enemies destroy each other while you benefit and build your empire. Now who the rising star? Who benefits from this war? China? Because they was over there like, we ain't gonna get in that shit. No, because you started it. And you don't even know what NATO's for. NATO was there to help you when somebody attack you, not when you go in and attack somebody. And even NATO saying, we ain't playing that game. You on your own. One day you say, you don't need nobody's help. The next time you calling for help. So, like I said, you had Bezos, Musk, you had Zuckerberg, you had all your little people that stood up on that stage with you, and they didn't give you a book. See, they didn't give you a book, and look, it's a little bitty book. It's a little bitty book. If you had read this book, but you wasn't gonna read it because, like I said, you don't read, and the problem with that is, you ain't gonna let nobody tell you nothing. Because, see, you had already made your mind up. And then you had the war whisper in your ear, Bibi Netanyahu. So, you know how that go. So, you was fulfilling Bibi's dream. And you put us in a nightmare. Yep, this was a nightmare on M Street. For real. A nightmare on M Street. All because you didn't read. I didn't ask you. Nobody said, we need you to read 1,000 books to go into this war. The people didn't want this war. We still don't want this war. No. I'm holding it up. And I'm telling everybody, it's not a big book. If you go get it, because the one I had was much older. This is a new edition. Then you'll see that the money that he asking for, They don't need no more money. And what did Congress do? Congress went in there and let him be in a war that was already lost before we even got in the airplane. The war was lost. Because what? Because of, once again, you know, if he had a if Congress had a just got their little book, this book here, and looked at, Article 1, Section 8 for unauthorized wars, we would have never been in this predicament that we in. Now, they set a precedence for every damn president coming along to what? To start up a damn war at their own fucking whim. Now, that's crazy. And to let them know also that another change that we need to make is two things. No Congress should be allowed to be in their positions that they hold without knowing the Constitution and out at least reading this damn book right here. Because if they had read this book, they would have made a different decision. But they don't read either. They too busy bending the knee, saying they afraid. Ain't nobody, I tell you one damn thing, ain't nobody gonna be voting for you all no more. Because everything that Congress did, they took from the people. You let us know. We ain't first. You don't give a damn about us. Oh, this is for all the billionaires. And it's the billionaires' fault. Told your ass black and white issue. No. A class issue. Because whose fault is it? It ain't our fault. We didn't have this kind of money. And anybody that's over there bending the knee and, all up APAC's butt, accepting money, from them, you don't need to be in office. But let me carry on, okay? Now, every bomb that was dropped, guess who made money? China. Because we had to borrow money from who to drop the bomb? And now we're getting more and more in debt to China, okay? Every bomb that was dropped. Now, you remember when Elon Musk came in with that big old chainsaw and he just wrecked everything? Him and Doge and whoever else that was in their little crew? Yeah. Well, those brothers break everything, tech bros, but when it was time to put stuff back together, they standing in front of, we don't really know how to put it back together. What the fuck you break it for? But see, that's the difference between China's strategy and American strategy. America think that everything needs to be broken, and even though they can't fix it, they use too much force. America's strategy is breaking everything with maximum force. And the tech bros and the billionaires, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, it's all their fault. And if they out there throwing cocktails at y'all's house, so be it. Because it's going to get worse before it get better. Now, like I said, when was the last time America won a war? And if they did, who gets the profit? Because that's not what America does. They don't. Billionaires profit off the war. The industrial complex, like Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Rockwell, these are the people that make the money. We lose the war. They get all these contracts, and this shit is for them to make them richer, while we starve, like they starving our men over there right now. They can't even get a can of beanie weenies, pork and beans or whatever. But DJT walking around there saying he won. All righty, I will see. Now, these contracts drained the American's treasury. American didn't win. We lost soldiers, okay? It weakened the American system financially. So every time those contracts are fulfilled and all this money is given to these billionaires, our system is broken down. Okay, now America went in forcefully. China's strategy was the greatest victory. is to win without fighting. You hear that? The greatest victory is to win without fighting. And if somebody had to sit down and just said, look, DJT, if you want to look like a superstar, we're going to go get this book. Oh, we're not asking you to read it. Can we read it to you at night? Can we sit by the bed and just read it to you a little bit? Because this is what you needed. Okay? So, they didn't, China didn't lose any soldiers. Who lost soldiers? Okay? Iran lost too, you know. They didn't waste any energy. They avoided indirect confrontation. And China positioned themselves as the situation developed because China waited until the moment was right, and then they moved. By that time, the outcome would be decided. I'm going to say it again. We had no plan, okay? There was no plan whatsoever. So, who wins this situation? Yep, China. China is the big benefactor of this war. And now, guess what? Iran don't need a nuke. What is their nuke? Who needs a bomb now when you could control in the strait? They got everything and some. Who needs a bomb? Because anytime they want to go there and say, your ship can't come through here because it's not the right type of ship. You the enemy. You got to stay out. For real, for real? Even if America won, America's funds are depleted. We're broke. We're broke. Trillions of dollars have to be spent. And what is China over there doing? Drinking oolong tea. Saying, ooh. Could you pass me one of those little stirrers so I can make it frothy? Oh, that's the matcha. Anyway, that's what happened. Iraq war was $2 trillion. And America lost that war. Lost that war. And where did America borrow the money from? They borrowed the money from China. Also Japan. And they don't need a nuke to nuke us because that's their nuke. They carrying, they carrying all our debt. This is going to be a no-bomb war. We ain't got to drop nothing deadly on nobody. We just call in our IOU. We probably don't own one building in Washington, D.C. I don't care who built it, but everything probably owned by China. Because every bomb, like I said, that we drop, every drone, all these fancy weapons, and that's another thing. You got these complexes building all these fancy-ass planes and shit, and then you got Ukraine coming in, dropping their drones, and not depleting their arsenal like we've depleted ours, and kicking ass. Zelensky's like, oh, we just took out one of your $100 million planes with our Walmart, Kmart drone. Right. Do that make any sense? This don't make any sense whatsoever. But guess what? We the losers because nobody came up and said, hey, would you all like to be in the war? Hell no. Even, they're talking about taking whole civilizations out. We don't want to be in there because they'll take our ass out too. And like they said, drop my brother at the nursing home or wherever he needs to go because this is ridiculous. And that lousy ass Congress, what did you do? You had this book here to stop that, and then you turn around and you voted. You voted for what? A lost-ass war. A lost-ass war. That's what you did. So the next people coming in, the first thing we can say is, you know, we got to be adaptable. And that shit that happened, we got to hold strict accountability. This shit ain't happening to us no more. All this shit that was broke and had loopholes, we got to cover this shit up. I don't care if you take toothpaste or concrete or whatever, but we got to cover these holes up because um, we had a shitty Congress. And they just went along and just said, sure, go back out there. We'll give him that power to go out there and make us look crazy, because that's all that happened. Let's see. And like I said, China, they got their nuke. Iran got their nuke. They don't need a bomb. They don't need a nuclear bomb, because like I said, all they got to do is we want our money now. So America, they can print all the money they want. Our money ain't worth shit now. Because the deal was, America had a promise. And that promise was, as long as we could keep the strait going, and people coming in and out, but that promise was broken too. And it weakened the American dollar. It did. America's military complex is not designed to win wars, but make the billionaire richer. It all goes to private military contracts. And once again, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon. That's where it goes. And probably more contractors. Every day Iran controls the strait. Every day, American petrodollar collapses. So we sitting on the flat. We ain't even got a pump. We can't back our booty up to nothing and get no air. All oil has been traded in U.S. dollars, and so now they ain't got to come to us and ask. Oh no, we don't have to give you money anymore. What China over there making a new type of dollar. China is now the superpower. Shit, Iran ain't looking too bad, and they bad bosses on those memes. So now Saudi realizes that America can't protect them. A lot of people thought that America could protect them. Marconi stepped on the stage looking presidential. He said, dudes, we out. We've been probably leaning on your shoulders too much, and now we know that, you got a bunch of idiots over here, and we're not coming this way. We'll find another way. We're going to deal with other people, because you don't believe in the institution. You got allies, and you talk to us like shit, and we're not trying to come out there and mess with you like that. We done. We'll go over here and find another way to get with us, to make, get on somebody else's playground. And guess what? You are not invited. The U.S. is not invited. That's right. America loses its status. Without that status, we look like Walmart over there. Who the hell gonna trust us now? Who gonna trust our dollar? Iran carries, 20% of the oil through their strait. Japan carries, 75% of their oil. China carries, 60% of their oil goes through the strait. South Korea, India, Pakistan, entire Asia, the whole Asian gang. Iran has its own nuke. That's right. Iran realized that now. Oh, shit. And not only that, we can be the toll booth. Ooh, we gonna make us some money now. Every time if we see your Uber come this way, we ain't letting your ass through. Ooh, Lord. Every day, Iran is in control uh, of that straight, the petrodollar is damaged. Another promise broken. That's what happened. America can keep the oil flowing. They can't keep it flowing. So that promise was broken. So if you think that we won, we didn't win. Why should anyone, once again, trust us and our dollars? China has I think it's the pro-yuan, pro-ang, or whatever their money was going to be. And Saudi Arabia, Russia, Iran, they're going to all be a part of that. I don't know what our money's going to be looking like monopoly money. And then, like I said, they're still asking for money for a war that was lost on day one because we didn't have a damn plan. We didn't have a plan. And I just want Professor Sachs to know, who he is not related to David Sachs, the AI czar, that Donald gonna find out about this shit. I'm behind your couch looking at your videos trying to find out what Professor Sachs over there saying. I gotta hear this. Cause he might say a book. I gotta go get it. I gotta read it. I gotta learn some stuff. And like I told you all, this is not a big book. And there was no JAG officers. There was no generals. And even in the first time when DJT was in office, hell, you had those generals. What was the generals doing to saying, oh, we don't understand this shit. What's going on with my brother? We don't understand it. But what we got to do is we got to be adaptable. What was they doing? They was up there reading this book. That's right. The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump. And I got the second one somewhere, but I'm just letting y'all know, y'all don't read. That's why we losing everything. And the nerves to sit up there and say, we won this war without a plan? And to have somebody sit up and tell us, I don't need a backup plan. You don't need a backup plan. Oh, okay. All right. But like I said, Congress should not be allowed to do anything until they learn the Constitution, get their little books, and they should never, ever go to war without at least reading this book, because these people has lasted over 5,000 years, and we can't last 250. We can't manage 250 years and going down the tube on some bullshit, because we got somebody up there that's omnipotent. Oh, grand leader. Oh, Jesus Christ. Has anybody seen him walk on water yet? Okay. I'm just saying. But once again, this was the art of the war versus the art of idiocracy. That's what it was. And Iran is sitting over there like, oh, shit, this is a better deal than that was tore up in 2015. 2018, my boy tore it up in 2015. Obama that was one of the great things. Oh, well, he was like, oh, well, these people need electricity. Oh, let's give them this. And the money that was given back was their money. But, I guess they said, you know what? We're going to make more money now. And oh my God, I just can't, when I think about it, it just blow my mind. These are some, Congress, oh, you all are some silly ass people. And you went in again, and what did you do? So, I'm just saying, Adam, add this to your list. Nobody can sign up to be a congressman unless they learn the Constitution, unless they really read, unless they be evaluated for mental acuity. We ain't having no more of this crazy ass shit, because this was ridiculous. All because you had people that were, and now you see they ain't that damn smart. Because if they was smart and didn't want some of their money fucked up, they would have gave him this book. But you know what? I've really enjoyed talking to you guys today. And once again, that was my truth. Basically, I'm just saying that a lot of times, if you don't know something, just ask somebody. You know, I noticed that when I'm watching a lot of the content creators, they're putting books out there. I try to write them down and go get them and read them, because that is what we need to do. You can't just stop and think that, oh, I know everything. That don't work. And if I don't know, I don't mind saying, hey, I don't know. Could you help me with? We're in a war. A war is serious. And we're broke. There is no more money to get from anywhere. We can't even get money out our ass. We are broke. That's it. And what did Congress do? What did they do? Don't all those people clear Congress out, clear this shit out, and clear them out for the sake of the Epstein crowd, because that was some bullshit too. So you got all these people up there that can't get this little book out, that's filthy rich, and all this shit is their problem because it's a class problem. And they don't give a damn because they're going to get their abortions. They're going to get, oh, well, you know, whatever that word that y'all want to say. I don't know the word for it, but they're gonna get their little hanger deal, you know. They're gonna whatever that they deny us, they're gonna get, because they got money. They're gonna send people in to get it. They don't care about, you know, the whole case of this book was to say that other countries place values on their people. They invest in their people. United States didn't invest in us. No. They don't invest in us at all. They invested in themselves. That's right. And it was always profit over the people. And that's just like our healthcare system. How the hell you gonna have a healthcare system and everybody study dying? Everybody studies being sick? Because they don't invest in us. They invest in Big Pharma. They invest in anybody but us. That's right. So if you want to think that you won that war, I'm going to tell you again. Go get this book, this little bitty book. I ain't asked you to read 500 pages. This is quick. And if you want to listen to it on Audible, you can, because it's out there on Audible. I think Audible can read it. You could read it within an hour or something like that. I don't know, but in that length of time, and then you'll find out how ignorant this whole war was, because we had no strategies. Like I said, Elon came in with his big saw and Doge, and they broke up everything. They didn't know how to put anything back together. You know, we look at these billionaires like they so intelligent, and fuck, they not. We found that out. Like, they over there talking some crazy shit. Don't nobody wanna, like I said, you listen to Peter Thiel and you like, oh hell no, we ain't trying to do that. JD over there fucking the couch, you know. And we not trying to do y'all. This shit is over. It's over. And that's gonna have to be a number one priority. If you're not reading, or if you're not learning how to read, or count on your fingers or something, we don't need you. No. Because there's too much shit getting messed up because of what? Lack of education. And that applies to all of us, voters and everybody. So once again, We know how old this book is. And China's saying, we chilling. We ain't getting in your mess. The other countries say we chilling. We not getting in your mess. We would have got in there if they had attacked you, but you went and took your ass and attacked them. And you got the straight clothes. And you want to put in your mind that you won that war? No, you didn't. Because your boys that was standing on stage with you didn't give you this book. I don't care. It's a million books out there, you know, for as going in with the going into a war, being strategic. But like I said, Bezo and all of them, they all use this little book. They've all used it. And see, that's when you know people don't want you to be successful. So now that they sitting over there saying, well, he failed, you know, now we going to take over. No, we the people have to stop that too, because we don't want the billionaires either. We don't care what shit you read. We don't want you all either, because like I say, everything you do for yourself. You don't do for the people. You don't value our lives. We don't mean shit to the billionaires. We don't. That's it. So on that note, I told the truth. Uh, if you like this video, I don't know. You can sign up and say like and subscribe, but you know I get away from that. People say go to the algorithm. Fuck y'all is the algorithm. You know you all. What do you do to other people's videos? You take that shit down. There's so many people struggling on Substack. I mean, when you all decide that you want a video shown, you show it. If you don't, because there are times even when I put my video up, I have to keep going back and check and see the time, because y'all move the time back to other days. Y'all do all kind of bullshit, you know. And I know it, but you got to say one thing. I keep a book with me. Because, see, I don't want you to get on stage or me be up in your little chats and you'll be saying, well, she over the line. Nope. Nope. Because I'm gonna keep a book with me, because, see, not only do I not trust your dollar, I just don't trust these guys, period. That's right. I don't trust them. No. And I'm going to continue to learn, and I'm going to continue to read, and I'm going to continue to go to independent media, get as much information as I can. I'm not going to speak on something that I have no idea of. I'm not going to make up no shit. And if I don't know, I'm going to ask somebody to help me, explain it to me. I will call out, hey, Popak, can you explain that to me? I'm not sure about that. Can you explain that to me? Brian Tyler Combs, can you explain that to me? Uh, Reese Waters, can you explain it to me? I mean, if I don't know, I don't mind saying I don't know. And if I don't know, I'm going to get something, go get something to help me understand the situation better. And that's what China does. Like, when the situation presents itself, then we'll jump in, and it probably be already decided. But in the meantime, we got strategies. We just didn't jump into this and didn't have a plan. So just to let Congress know, before you sign off on any damn thing, we lost this bitch. We lost it before we even jumped in the plane. You could have saved your gas. You could have packed took that plane and backed it up to a service station and gave everybody else some gas, because we lost this war too. So there you have it. And like I said, I'm reluctant to say like and subscribe, because shit, this is the same Epstein crew probably running this shit here. So again, I will be back. And when I come back, I'm coming back with another goddamn book, because, I don't trust narcs at all. I say that all the time, because narcs, what do they like to do? Gaslight your ass, make sure that you look crazy as hell. You know, no, I'm not. I'm not going down that alley with you all. I'm going to make y'all look crazy as hell. I'm going to make it look like you all can't defend yourself. And if you bitches don't read, I got you. If you don't write, I got you. Because, see, that's another thing, too, that I admire about the other black man spy. You know what he do? He says, when I can't figure something out, I got my little books, and he says the goddamn computer can go down, and he writes, and I write too. Because I don't want you to say, oh, well, she don't know what she's talking about. No, right on page 2, section whatever, because I write shit down. Because we dealing with some crazy-ass people. Right. So I write that shit down. Everything I write it down. Because I can't remember. You know, as we get younger, we can't remember everything. But then I can look back and say, yes, I remember that. I recall that. I recall writing it down. So once again, we didn't win. And once again, Congress signed off on some bullshit. Because like I said, we lost the day the war started up. We lost before our men ever got in the plane. We lost, and I hope that we see the young men that get shot down. We may not never see that. I hope we get the for real statistics of the men and women that we lost in this war. We probably won't get that either. But in the meantime, anybody out there that want to know for a fact that we lost, get this little book. We lost. We lost. And there are many books out there, but this one, 2,500 years, got to trust this game here, you know, because we only at 250 and can't maintain our shit and had no plan. So on that note, like I said, I hope you like this video, and you may not like the damn video. What the hell? As they say, cut the TV off. YouTube said in order to get up here, just push the damn button. That's what I did. I pushed the button. Now, they may not like the shit that I'm putting out here, but in the meantime, I'm cool with it because I can live with myself because I'm not coming out here telling you no bullshit. Not me. Because if I don't know some shit, I ain't going to talk on this shit. So, there you have it. And until the next time or the next damn book. And again, we did not win. Okay? We didn't win. So, you all have a good night.